Hello, friends. Welcome to the inaugural, the launching, the debut of hopefully many shows to come of R&D, the Voices Against Cancer community show, where we talk about hope and about your role in curing childhood cancer and where we strive to give kids a voice. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rob Kiesacker.
And I'm PT Dan.
We are coming to you live from the Sioux Empire area here in South Dakota, where Voices Against Cancer is headquartered. We have a very, very exciting show tonight, don't you think, PT Dan?
Yes, sir. Right you are, Rob. Our guests are not in Sioux Falls. We actually have friends joining us from a galaxy far, far away.
See what we did there? I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we're going to be talking to actors from the Disney's hottest show. Well, we might be a little biased, but we think it's Disney's hottest show, The Mandalorian, and it is currently in its third season on Disney Plus. I hope everyone is caught up because beep beep spoiler notice, we may be talking specifics all the way up through the current episodes, so you better be caught up.
I'm so soaked. We're talking to none other than the armorer, Emily Swallow, Paz Vizsla, Tait Fletcher. You notice him. He's actually the guy who, the Mandalorian, who looks like he could kill me with one punch. Or with like a brisk brushing, just kind of walking by.
Yeah, big guy.
And then also Barry Lowin, who is one of the physical actors for the Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. He's also actually played multiple other characters, which you might not know on that show. So, and he's done other things too. So we're going to be talking with all those guys about everything they're doing. So.
Let's
all take it away. Right?
These friends are joining us from locations across the country. When we were getting this set up, it's kind of like we're going to be in East Coast, West Coast, Central, and it's just amazing.
The power of the internet.
The power of the internet. That's exactly right. And so we basically want to talk to these guys, talk about the show, what they're doing right now, and to also help raise some money for this super cool Lego set that all three of them have signed through betterworld.org, where I just do have to say that I may or may not have had supper with all three of them and been able to talk with them. And that was an just awesome experience in itself. Such amazingly awesome individuals. And I mean, these guys are their personalities are huge on screen, and they're even bigger people in life for what they're doing, what they've done, and
most of it the public doesn't even know about, which is really exciting. So we're excited to tell you a little bit more. We're going to kind of rat them out on some of the stuff they're doing to make a difference for kids going through cancer treatment. So I'm excited to jump into that. Couple surprises on that note. But yeah, these guys signed a Lego set and we're auctioning it off. The auction is live right now. Is it?
It's actually, I'm checking on it now. It's, we're going to run it about the length of the show. So it's going to end right when the show ends. It is up to $175 right now. And it's, if you go to betterworld.org, Voices Against Cancer, and we've been sharing the links on our pages. And I know Tait and Emily have shared it today, which we greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we saw this Lego set and it's just like, oh my gosh, that's Emily.
It literally has all of
them. Oh my gosh,
in it.
That's Barry. Oh my gosh, that's Tait. Oh, we have to get this. And the three of them were so generous, so kind that, they got that signed for us. And so,
and this money is going toward
right back to Voices Against Cancer, where our hashtag give kids a voice. And that's what we're trying to do to give kids a better opportunity, a better chance, and better survival for a better life.
Yeah. Voices Against Cancer supports pediatric cancer research they're an international partner for St. Baldrick's, which Rob and I are both involved in St. Baldrick's too. And St. Baldrick's is I believe they are the number one pediatric cancer research grant funder in the US.
Yes.
One of those things where this money is going to help local kids, but the idea behind this, the fact that we get to do this show, that they're auctioning this off for this show, our show is really designed to connect the community. Yes. And to remind people what a good community does for people going through cancer treatment. So for these kids and these families that are facing this battle, we want them to know just what sort of folks and what lengths those folks will go to make that difference to them. So thank you for being with us tonight. It's a great time. as far as these show comments go, my patients have tons of questions about the Mandalorian, so I'm very excited to talk with these folks and to get some of my questions answered.
Right.
And then, but also I have tons of patients that have asked questions too, so we're going to be pulling those up as well. It's going to be fun. So
I'm excited to talk about all of this stuff, the stuff that they've done for Voice Against Cancer, but also we want to find out, what else you guys are doing, your projects, and
yeah, we're gonna give them, we're gonna create some hope tonight. So
Yes.
and this is so our base, I mean, that's basically our show in a nutshell.
Yep.
Or in a Japor snippet. Little Star Wars insider thing there. So thank you for being with us tonight. This is a live show, so if you guys want to be a part of the show, you can literally, whether you're on Facebook or on Twitter or on YouTube, you can jump on and you can talk to us through the comments. And so comment on it and like things and subscribe to the channel. Every time you do something like that, you're giving us a little more reach and a little more chance for us to do the work of communicating hope to this community. So Thank you.
Yep, that's right. You drop us a comment, you share the video, you hit the subscribe, the heart button, all of that stuff, because it's only through every single one of our opportunities and our chances, and we take advantage of those chances, can we really make a difference.
So are we ready for this now?
I think so. Let's
bring them in.
Let's bring them in.
Well, hello, folks. Good to see the both of you.
Nice
hello.
Hi, Emily.
Look at those fancy graphics you guys had. What's that?
Yeah, well worth the $3.50, I think.
That's artwork in the universe.
That's right.
Artist in Star Wars beyond.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Yeah, some of those the stuff that you see at the end credits, it's like every one of those is wall worthy. They're just amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Every single one of them, we're like, okay, this one looks like a Ralph McQuarrie concept. This one you can tell is so like some of them were like straight from the shots in the scenes that you guys had, and then some of them you could tell were either outtakes or not used, because we're like, hey, that's not what they were wearing, or that was so it's
storyboard versus reality.
Or the concept art beforehand.
Yeah. I love that so much of that translates into the actual show. That's just an amazing thing that they can take a concept art and go, we're gonna make it look exactly like that. And then you see it and you're like, oh, I remember that. Like, that's the only show that I know of that I watch the credits on. And I do it not because I'm waiting for an end credit scene. I do it because I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like, oh, I love that. Look at that. That's amazing. Oh, I remember that scene. Like, yeah. So yeah, I'm 5. But I really enjoy it.
We all are when we watch anything
don't
Star
lose
Wars related.
That's part of the magic, right?
Yeah.
I think something like that, whenever you're creating something like that, it really makes you feel something. It connects me back to childhood, and I get to then talk about that with actual children the next day or whatever. I have a couple of patients that if I do not keep up on what's going on in The Mandalorian, I literally hear about it, and they're literally one guy was like, I don't know if I can see you today. So I love that. What I do want to say,
you've got standards around work.
Yeah, isn't it great? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're holding you to the fire. They're like,
it reminds me of the way TV used to be back whenever I was a kid.
This is not the way.
If you missed TGIF or something whenever I was growing up, like, you couldn't talk to people after. You're like, well, I didn't see that episode. They're like, fine, I'm not friends with you anymore. But this is the same kind of thing. Only now it's like, okay, they dropped it. If we don't watch it, we have to have an agreement. A couple of my patients are like, I promise I'll be caught up next time I see you. That kind of thing. So it's so
these days,
fun.
if you don't watch it, like, you basically can't go online at all.
You can't. Yeah, you have to literally join an Amish community.
Which I apologize when I called Emily the other day, and I was so excited from last week's episode. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, I haven't seen it. I'm like, oh.
You
Bite my
were
tongue.
there.
I mean, I know basically what happens in each episode, but I do have to go back and watch because, okay, we shot season 3 a year ago. And also we shoot, we'll shoot a scene, and especially with the armorer, there are some pivotal lines where we'll shoot a take with a line, or we'll shoot a take where John and Dave will say, maybe it would be better if she didn't say that much and we keep that under wraps for now. And so I need to know like how much is actually revealed before I talk to anybody about it, especially when I'm doing all these conventions lately. Or, I'm going to be up there doing a Q&A and I'll be like, yeah. And then when she said such and such, and everyone's going to go, wait, what? And then forget it. Like, the Disney drone hits me in the head and I'm a goner.
Oh my god. Yeah, I wondered how much like somebody, there's a follow-up person that comes and they're like, you have to come back this way. We've got a black helicopter waiting out back for you now.
Yeah. The threat of that is enough, because the fear of getting a scolding to say that you've put something out that, you showed a video of the volume.
Oh my goodness.
Or what I mean, look at it. I mean, it's like you can't even imagine. I'm terrified of that.
Yeah,
because you had theoretically.
He just said he's terrified. You're one of the most terrifyingly on-screen people I've ever met, and
That's
you're
why
terrified of them. So,
but that last week there was a spoiler for you. You're not a spoiler per se.
Well, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of speculation about what was what.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
what? Huh?
Well, just as far as like before they knew that Ragnar was my boy, and so everybody was predicting things that were to come, and any comment I saw like that, I'm not liking that. I'm out.
The one thing I would say about that is I watch it for different reasons. I think I would have watched it for the spectacle if I was 12. If I was like the age of some of my patients that I watch it with or whatever. Now I watch that, and that's the moment when that reveal happened. My heart jumped into my throat. I was like, oh my good, this has to happen. Like, we got to get up there. We're going to get this kid.
Isn't it awesome?
To each of you, because of that, I want to say that this is such a wonderful escape for my patients. Like, this is something that they can look forward to, and they know it's coming. It's a dependable thing. And there's so many things that in their world, they're not dependable. So the fact that you guys are putting so much wonderful work into this, I just want to say thank you for that. Because it's fueling imaginations for the kids that I work with, kids with cancer. And because of you, I get to have these, 45-minute long, like precious deep dive conversations, like Easter egg ridden deep dive conversations, Arabesh lettering conversations, and to show them it all the while, hopefully prove to them that something that's in their world matters to me too.
Yeah.
So thank you for what you're doing, because of you, I have so much more to talk about with my patients.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was thinking about, Voices Against Cancer all day. And I was thinking I was thinking the opposite of that. Like, you guys are real you're lighthouses of hope, and that's that. And what's more powerful than that, promises or hope. It's like to be able to instill that, like to be able to create a conduit that you guys are attached to, that you're birthing here, is an incredible thing, because that is the most potent for whatever healing we need. We need hope.
Yeah.
We believe that there can be a better way if we're in a bad way right now. And we need to believe that we can help others and pull them along. All of it's vital. And then in that storytelling, I remember when I was a kid, and they said in the Great Depression, the thing that never slacked, because the movie business had started, was entertainment. People are going to see all these films because they need to get out of their life. And that kind of, a balm that it can be, a little bit of a salve to whatever it is that's happening. God bless.
Yeah, well, thank you.
That is such a gift to us too, to know that people like you are utilizing it that way. Because we want to believe that the stories we're a part of have that power, and you don't always know, because there's so much noise around all of movie making and TV making and all this. And so it definitely means a lot when you find out that something has found its way to make an impact. And so thank you for all the work that you do to make sure that happens. Just putting this live stream together. Rob and I were talking about I was like, yeah, we could do like an Instagram live or something, and we could get on there and we could talk a little bit, and it'll be really low key, really casual. And then there's graphics, there's this whole platform set up, and you guys are suddenly talk show hosts. And
whenever Dan and I talk, this turns into, it's not even like snowball into it's just, but that kind of shows, not to toot our own horns, but that shows our passion towards the mission. And we are such huge nerds with all of this. And, I've talked to both of you guys about our son, Ian, who passed away, and what it means to us, and just the passion and the drive. And for him, it's the exact same thing that Dan was saying, is that you guys unknowingly, along with so many, provided that escape from reality for these kids. And it's literally, and the families too, and so we were able to just kind of escape reality and go to this whole other universe that now, I mean, look, what time? Yeah, I think we've already talked for like 15 minutes just about this. We have a little foundling here. I think he's about ready to I think jump out of his.
I don't want to lose him. We got to jump into some questions. So this, bottom line, this is a community thing, and you guys are, when you jump into this stuff and you help out with these things, and you show these things, that what really matters, you're teaching these kids a lesson, and your entertainment teaches them a lesson too. It teaches them that somebody's willing to entertain them, willing to give them some joy, and to bring a good story to them, teach them lessons about the world. Because we're talking fantasy, but this moment where we found out Ragnar was Paz Vizsla's son, that's like, oh my goodness, that was meaningful to me. I was like, oh my goodness, this just got real, people. Get up in that nest.
It takes a whole nother level. Yep.
So the fact that you guys have those roles, and we see that stuff playing out on screen, the community aspect of it, the Mandalorians themselves, they have figured out how to appreciate what
I'm trying to show my mom how to watch this on Facebook.
Do it. Oh yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. It's okay.
No, you're just fine. One of the, in that moment we get this. So for instance, the fight where there's that giant beast that comes up and interrupts the ceremony.
The opening scene.
I mean, I would have enjoyed that at age 12. I would have been like, this is the most amazing. Look at the way the thing, like, it's so huge. I would have been at it for the King Kong aspect of it. It's just massive spectacle.
The outer space alligator.
Yeah. But then what happens, what I'm watching now is I'm like, look at all these people. Look at every single one of these people. Their culture is, they don't leave anybody behind. Right. Every single person is, there's somebody over there, they're going to rescue them. If somebody's in trouble, they're going to fight for them until they fix it. I was like, that's the kind of community I want to be a part of, the community that runs towards the needs of others. And so you guys joined us. You're jumping into that community. That's the bottom line. So thank you for that. Let's bring one more person in here. I hope you are ready for this, my friend. Here we go.
Oh,
hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Go ahead and say a hi and a few things to him, my friend. And then you can ask some questions if you got them ready.
Yeah, I got a couple questions for Emily.
Well, will you introduce yourself to everyone?
Oh.
Say whatever you feel like you can say.
Yeah.
I'm a foundling.
Perfect.
And I'm going through cancer. So, yeah.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, kiddo.
You're really strong and really positive.
Thank you.
How long have you been going through it?
November, 3 months.
Yeah.
3 years. Oh,
3 years?
Oh, started in 2020.
It does seem like a time warp after 2020. Time got a little strange there.
Yeah, I know. It's like, did we go through hyperspace or something?
Exactly. A little disorienting.
Yeah.
So you're liking the show?
Yeah, I'm loving the show.
What do you got to ask Emily?
What is it like to play alongside Pedro Pascal?
There's really a Pedro.
He's a really humorous guy in real life.
Yeah. Well, everybody on the show is really awesome. I've known Pedro for a number of years. We knew each other back in when we were both living in New York and doing theater. And then we did some episodes of The Mentalist together. And it's fun when you get to run back across people again in your career, and you get to see how they're growing. And it's exciting to see how his career has really blown up lately, and he's getting to explore so many cool roles. But I feel so lucky because everybody on the show is phenomenal and very funny. And all of the actors who work to make Mando who he is are so gifted and so generous and just phenomenal. And it's amazing to me that they're able to work together to create this character who is just larger than life. And so, I mean, you would have no idea that there are multiple Mandos. It's pretty magical.
And then another question I have is, I haven't bathed in the living waters, but I have bathed at my tub at home. Can that count so I can be a Mandalorian?
Well, do you really want to wear a helmet all the time? It kind of gets old.
I wear a beanie. I wear a beanie all the time.
All right, yeah.
It's pretty good.
There's some fine print in the creed that has some special exceptions, and I feel like you probably fall within one of those special exceptions. A lot of people don't bother to read the fine print, but the armorer does. So,
how old are you, young foundling?
Oh, I'm 12.
12. Maybe too early to wear a helmet, even.
Oh yeah, so you
that
get
was from last episode.
Little clause in the contract there.
Yeah.
You might be,
Especially if your ears are too big, right?
Your ears are too
We
big.
got space.
Yeah. I wonder if
definitely qualify though.
Wait,
Got what it takes.
My goodness, this is. Oh wow, that's fantastic. I didn't know it pulled down like that.
I didn't either. That is a foundling
How
secret.
many?
Okay.
Can you tell me how many different Grogus do you have in total in the
I
camera?
cannot count. I got a full shelf over here.
Oh wow!
Sure.
Oh wow!
my.
Oh
Real.
goodness!
My bed is covered with them.
Yeah, we could get you a Paz Vizsla, the heavy Mando one, but it wouldn't even fit in your room. He'd have to duck to come.
You'd have to feel like you needed to herd.
Yeah. You guys should get me some cutout Mando of armor
Is it a
and
gaggle of Grogus? Is that what it is?
Gaggle of Grogus, I think so.
Yeah, gaggle of Grogus.
got already.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, do you have more questions?
Oh yeah, I actually do.
Do it. Go ahead.
Emily, will we ever see the armor's face?
I don't know.
And I've got a couple things to show you if you don't mind.
All right.
Okay. The first thing is this little guy.
There she is.
So attractive.
It is my most favorite thing in my room.
I
Especially
feel like she must easily get lost amongst all the Grogus.
Where do you
though.
keep her?
Oh no, I have a little stand that I keep it on. That's how special it is.
I'm honored.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
so cool.
Awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, Lego.
Here's my stand.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
And
look
I have
at
a
that.
Lego of myself, and it's got Grogu on the back.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Oh my
goodness.
gosh, you're the coolest.
Oh my God, thank you. That is so crazy to hear from someone like you. I would be saying
Oh.
you're the coolest, honestly.
Look at- did you draw that?
Yes, I did.
That's incredible.
I didn't know what to do with his eyes. The eyes are.
They're hard to do, but it looks great.
You know,
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
That's amazing. No frog in his mouth, I noticed, though.
no
He's
frog.
reaching
I think he
for it.
just
That's what he's
swallowed
He's
reaching
reaching
for.
for the frog tree.
Yeah.
Frogs kind of disgusting.
Or the frog eggs.
Yeah, the frog.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, those.
Not the
Yeah,
frog eggs.
slurps up
Yeah.
a couple.
The
Yep,
frog
yep.
eggs are a little bit better than the frogs themselves.
Oh my goodness. I am
Oh,
so
have you tried
impressed.
them?
I've only
Just
had
heard on
deep
Good Authority.
fried with tartar sauce. They're delicious.
Mm.
Hey, why don't you stick with us for a moment here, if you would, and let's see. So there, I don't know if one of these might have been a question that you asked here, but let's see some of the other patient questions. Here's one I'm going to bring up right now. It is. Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It has now been addressed. So
yes, not answered,
but
addressed. That's a Favreau question.
Yes.
But I will say, I trust that if we ever see her face, they'll have a really good reason for it. But I love that we don't. I love that I feel like it's really good that we don't see her face yet.
I feel like, but if I see your face now that I like talk to you, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I talked to that person. I'm so cool.
You are cool.
What about Heavy?
I
We haven't seen Heavy's face either.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, and that's
your face is very preferable.
I just want to see.
I was saying, let's do it under the Armor catalog, and they say only if Emily's involved.
Oh my god! What are we?
It'll just be me and Lateef.
If we if we see if we do see Heavy's face now, is Heavy gonna have a mustache that sticks out like this?
God knows, it comes and goes every couple months. I mean, I'm not sure. My face is a little dyslexic, maybe.
I have some. I have like we're gonna get into the Breaking Bad side of things, but I know there's a couple. Now I have a question for both of you, and this is a question that my niece asked, and I think it's one of the best questions I've heard about this show. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure I don't mess it up because boy, she'd be mad. So what strategies do you use to convey emotion and expression while wearing a helmet?
I just smile really hard.
Yeah, smile as hard as you can.
You need help, in my experience. There's stuff that I'll do. The first thing I work against is the suit, because the suit has limitations.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just mobility wise, and so there's certain things you can and can't do, and so however that limits you is not good in my estimation, because that's not who Heavy is. And so how to fit within that kind of milieu becomes like kind of that job in a way of strong and positive movements that kind of would be descriptive of what Paz Vizsla would move like. And so that's kind of part of it. But then the other part of it, that the nuanced part, like little tilts of the head, you don't know how much that's reading or not. And so I need help. I need feedback. And so, the AD or the director or somebody will say, we need a little more of this or that, or tilt that. And they get it very precise with how they want. And you have for me, I have a grotesque idea of maybe what that would look like. And then they fine tune it into how they want it to look. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really, the creation. I love what you said, Dan, about how this show is about community, and the Mandalorians don't leave anyone behind. And I feel like the creation of this show is so dependent on the creative community that we have on set, because like Tait was saying, we don't always know what's reading, what's not reading. And it's so important to get feedback about that. For me, for the armorer, I have learned that I have to be so patient and trust that what I am feeling and what I am thinking will come across. And it usually does. I mean, she's somebody who is very still as a rule. And any extraneous movement can be way too much. And sometimes I panic because I want, I think, oh my gosh, they're not going to know what's going on. And I mean, anyone who knows me in real life, Tait and Rob have both spent time with me, and they know that stillness is not my natural state at all. And so it's been a real journey. It's been such a trip getting to play her, and she has taught me so much about trust and about patience and being willing to just sort of sit in a slower, stiller space. But yeah, having that feedback about what's playing, and when it is necessary to maybe push it a little bit more. And some of that changes with depending on, who else is in the scene, how many other characters are in a scene, because you might need to pull some focus or what the surroundings are. It can vary so much, but it's fun. It's fun to figure it out.
I would also say how it feels for me, because I get people talk about it's a relationship show, and the relationship between all these people. That was what was that scene that opened everything on the beach with all of us together. to walk out there on that morning and go, oh my God, to see 50 Mando helmets lined up. And I mean, it just took my breath away. It's such a, I mean, just before you start the day, it's exciting. And then Favreau and Filoni are giving you the rundown for an hour about what they think the episode is like. And I'm just like, am I in Disneyland right now? So there's, you know, there's a lot of just cripplingly beautiful things that you just are walking through and that land on you later. You're like, oh my God, that happened today too. But the thing I'll say about being around Emily, it's like being around different people, when being around the armor and Emily, and it's the thing that Emily has that is, she's the most, who's more competent, reliable, or looked towards in every scene. She's the most dynamic character in every scene for me. She holds it together. Mm-hmm. She is the space. She holds, all that stillness. It's like she holds this space, and there's like this reverence I have for that character, in that way, because it really holds everything together in that. And inside of that, it's like, I think everybody looks to approval there. That's why, I mean, that's the say so. That's the, I mean, if there were I wouldn't want to say a deity, but like, it's like, this is our oracle, maybe, that, or a sage, you know, this is the highest of our clan. And that's what the character brings when she's on set. It's just amazing. It's just so naturally that way that it's just, of course.
You can tell that, I mean, you are the leader, the one that everybody looks towards, and whether it's to know about the history of the Mandalorians or the foundlings and the children of the Watch. I mean, just everything is just so, I don't know.
It's just, like, you become like the keeper of that culture, which I think is so cool, because all of the characters are having some of their best character development brought about by you. And so that meteredness that you've given this, somehow created this character that communicates that the wholeness of that culture comes from them all being together and being around you.
Yeah. I want to say too that, like, there's a lot of stuff that is like grumpy paws and stuff like that. You know, it's a little salty.
But he checks himself.
Which is a bit complimentary. But what the true story is of that is, like, I feel like Paz is an extension of the armor of the one that's holding the line, of the one that's going, I'm over here holding her standards. These are the standards that are our clan. Whether you like them or not, it's what we've agreed upon. And that's, and it's like that kind of a space. It's neat, man. And watching it unfold and seeing how everybody I'm excited this month.
It's so cool.
I was just going to say, I mean,
so loyal.
Tomorrow night. Really quick, I wanted to check Foundling. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Do you need to jump off?
I got a couple more questions.
Do it.
Okay.
Ask away.
Okay. You ask your questions, and then I'm going to update us on our Lego auction here.
Alrighty. Will Grogu ever say a real word like Yoda? Because he looks like Yoda.
What do you think his first word should be if he does?
Daddy to Mando.
In like whatever language.
I thought it was going to be he was jumping into battle and he screams YOLO.
YOLO. Oh my goodness. I love it.
YOLO.
That might be a next. Who knows?
YOLO.
That's awesome. Also, Foundling, do you have another question? One more? Okay. I just want to mention here too, with all of the comments, that you have quite the following. There are many people saying good job, hang in there. Hey, I know him.
I bet that's my brothers. My brothers are watching.
Okay, so that would be some of them. And okay, so that's go ahead.
Emily, is it always you in the armor suit, or do you have like other people that play in the suits, like Pedro?
It is me as much as possible, by which I mean I go kicking and screaming when they try to put someone else in there. However, there are things that I am not skilled enough to do, such as highly difficult stunt work. I don't want to break my neck, and they won't let me break my neck. So there are really incredible women who do some of the stunts. But it's me most of the time. It's me getting sweaty in there, and it's me fighting in there some of the time. I'm getting better with my fighting skills. I've been because when we first started the show, I didn't have any martial arts experience, and Lauren Kim, who did that fight in season 1 against the stormtroopers that I wanted to do so badly, and I was like, I'll just work really hard. Why can't I do it?
Now I need to go
I
back.
saw it and I realized,
And they're like, listen, we'll show you on tape doing it, and we'll show Lauren and Kim doing it.
So she has been kind. I mean, it's amazing. It's truly amazing because people like her and like Latif have been just giving of their time when we're not, both when we were on set, but now even like when we're not shooting, like I get together with them and they work on the moves that the armorer needs to have to be able to fight the way that, to have that language of movement that the character should have for these fight scenes. So I'm trying to beef up on that so that I can be ready for, I don't even know if I'm in season 4. Like we have so little information, but I'm just hoping that, when the character comes back, I can be ready for whatever they throw at me because I love to get to do as much as possible.
Season 4 just confirmed?
I have heard online.
I heard a rumor that they were doing it in London. I heard that a few months ago.
I have one more question. If
one
you
more, okay, sounds good.
Since I think it might be done for a little bit, the seasons, could I somehow get your helmet?
Oh, you want to borrow it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the helmet from the show because they don't let me hold on to that. But I know some people who make helmets that are really awesome. I actually just got a full suit of armor that a fan who's a member of the 501st in Ohio made for me. And we sort of did a sneak attack on some fans that had no idea it was me. So I bet we could figure out how to get a helmet made for you.
Ooh. Yeah, if you remember back to the message that you recorded that I watched, you said you'd make something for me.
Well, so yeah, I mean, I'm an armorer. I got to make stuff.
My request would be a helmet.
A helmet? All right.
So that I can walk the way of the Mandalore.
I accept the challenge.
I'll jump into my bathtub with the helmet on, and then I won't.
Then you recite the creed.
Honestly,
I would. This is the way.
This is the way.
Oh my gosh, that sounded so much like it.
Well, it's because it's me. My brother. I'm at my mom's house right now, and we were all at dinner last night, and my brother was here. And he was telling me to do the voice, and I was doing the voice, and he was like, "Nah, I don't think that's really the voice. No, that didn't sound right."
Amazing.
Can you say, he speaks the truth?
He speaks the truth.
That's so cool.
Well, I tell you what, Foundling, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Foundling.
Thanks for being here.
Joining us.
Oh, it's been so cool to talk to you guys.
It's really cool to talk to you too. You keep fighting that fight.
Yes. You are incredible.
I've got everything I need now to fight it off. I still need one more thing, that helmet.
You want one more thing.
Yeah.
Everything you need right now.
You're talking to the right people, my friend.
That's right.
Well, hey, we will say goodbye to you now, and we got a couple more questions, some of which you might have been a part of asking. So, but we'll have them up here, and you can take a break. Okay. Or if you want, you can keep watching. I'll just take you out of the live feed.
I'm watching this entire thing.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, hey,
sounds good.
This would be great. So if you need to pick your nose or pluck a nose hair or something like I always do,
you can take a break.
Yeah, you can do that.
I already did that before.
Oh, good. You had somebody.
Get ready before you go on camera.
Yep.
Good. Okay,
yeah, we all pick their noses.
Stay with us here, okay?
I even put on some deodorant just in case you could smell me through this week.
I put pants on, got no idea why.
Not me.
Still don't know. All righty. Stay with us then. Maybe we can pull you in at the end. Okay, here we go. Ready?
All right. There
It
we go.
worked.
All right.
Love it when it works. Okay, we're gonna go with another question here. I think this one is pretty funny. Who would win in a fight, the armorer, Mando, or the big guy? This came from a 6-year-old
guy.
patient.
I'm assuming that's you, Tate.
I'm going to say, if the big guy gets the answer, I'm going to say the armor.
Ah.
I mean, it's just like the reason. I mean, I'm trying to guide Din in a certain way. So I give him deference. I let his ego get boosted a couple of times. But we all know what happens, right? He gets smashed by me.
One punch.
The only one that we really are anyway threatened by at all is the armor.
Yeah.
Well, and I have to, I feel like there's no way to answer that question with just like one word, because I think it begs an explanation. Like, how would this fight go down? Because Heavy he has been such a loyal friend and ally to the armorer. I mean, the biggest example, I think, being that when it was just the two of them and Glavis Ringworld, apparently he was the one that was lugging that forge everywhere for her. How else did that get transported places?
Just was it, pleasure to do, and it just took the place of my workout.
Yeah,
there you go.
We asked John and Dave questions like that. We're like, so how did they get this thing? And they're like,
it happens off camera. So
you know what nobody's asked so far?
Yeah.
What I wonder about, and what I asked Dave about, was who's Ragnar's mom?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've heard theories about that. I heard theories
you guys
about
go
that.
ahead too on that.
Oh my goodness. We might have an off-screen discussion about that later as we're packing up this stuff. So, impressive.
I feel like Heavy and I don't think Heavy would. I wonder in what situation Heavy would actually fight the armorer, or Din would actually fight the armorer. Like, what kind of fight?
It'd be a whole what if series.
Yeah.
And I think if you were going to say who would be then more useful in a battle, again, open to a lot of things. I think that's the beautiful thing about what we're talking about community and family, is that they all have an integral part in making the whole stronger, in really all the parts making the whole something that it could have never been just solely on its own.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking like a rock, paper, scissors fight, I think the armorer would win.
Then it's all wily. It's wily stuff.
Then it's totally,
Loser gets forged, basically.
You get to recycle a lot of armor with Heavy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, next kid question here. This is a fun one. Do you like being an actor? That was one of my favorite questions from one of my little patients this week.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe you could elaborate on why or how you got into it, and if you still enjoy it.
and I mean, I know for you, Tate, looking at your resume and everything, just the sheer amount of stunt work that you've done is so impressive. And I mean, I've seen the whole range from Marvel to Star Wars to a little bit of everything else. So I think, all of that encompassed in that question.
I think that it's so cool in life that you can do things that you don't think are available to you to do at certain times of your life. And I think that the reason people say the odds are against doing things that are incredible or that seem out of your reach is because most people quit. Mm-hmm. And I think that with a relentless tenacity, that you should address what you love in your life doing. And if you do that thing, you'll get good at that thing. And you'll be useful in the community where that thing happens. And that'll be living a life that you can love. And I think that there's no mystery in that. You follow what you love and you do this thing and get as good as you can at it. Maybe that takes you to the next thing. But that's how I got to acting. And that's what there's a lot about acting that's not about acting, right? It's also, do I like the career of like what it is to be an actor, or do you like being in a scene that really moves you, that you're in? There's nothing better than that. But those are glimpses for me. I'm it's very compartmentalized a lot of times, and I don't get a lot of those stretches. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, you know. It's been fantastic, and it was something that, you know, if you had asked me at another time, I would have said this would have never happened.
I just love it. So this for me, I feel like we just got to sit by the roaring fire in a living room and listen to Papa Tait, words of wisdom. Awesome. Would never have expected such beautiful clarity from a guy who could, like I said, kill me with one punch. So, what do you think, Emily? Do you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, it has been such an interesting journey, and interesting is such a, like, the word is so insufficient. But being an actor, there's so many different ideas about what that is. And those moments, like Tait said, there's so many things that contribute to those moments of that pure freedom that you feel when you are acting in a scene and you're having that connection with another person or other people.
Yeah.
And you have that inspiration and those surprises, and you're experiencing true freedom as a you know, just real emotion as a human, and real things that surprise you, and things are just flowing. Those moments are so few and so precious, and there's so much around the whole I guess the work and the practice of being an actor that contributes to that, but those things are not the only goal. I mean, I've learned so much about community through pursuing acting. I've learned so much about, I feel so blessed that I've been able to see how supported I am in my life through having to go through really hard times and real disappointments and trying to be an actor. I've gotten to see, you know, how, I mean, over and over and over, I always say that, like, being in this profession, and I guess being in any creative profession, really just gives you constant opportunities to practice having faith, because you don't know what's gonna, you know, there's no job security. There's no, even when you think you have job security, suddenly something changes, and you really are committing to wanting to do your best with absolutely no guarantee that it's going to lead to what you thought it would. And yet there are rewards all along the way that take all sorts of different forms, if you will allow them to, and can connect you to other humans in beautiful ways. And it's so cool that way. And I love that. And I love, I mean, you know, I had no idea when I was like doing mask work in theater school that that would somehow contribute to me being on this really cool TV show, where now I have this new creative community and people like Tait, who, you're absolutely right. I love sitting down with Tait and just talking about life. And he is such a wise man, and such a kind man. And that plays so much into how I see Paz Vizsla, you know, when we're in a scene together. And that's one of the reasons that I think that the Armorer and Heavy Mando do have a really strong bond. He's not just bluster. He's not just, you know, the heavy. He's also, those waters run deep. And
it's faithful.
Yeah. And it's just, man, it's wild. It's wild how what you get to discover when you're creating with people.
Yeah. Well, I think that the strength of what you discovered through all this is really been, it's kind of an amazing thing to see, because you've had to go through a lot of struggles, both of you, to stay in a business that is can be chaotic, right? And you know, in the midst of that, you've got these trials are bringing about this crazy cool, amazing work, and so you can create in the midst, and it's a very strong thing to be able to create in the midst of what is really a chaotic or seemingly chaotic thing, and then to bring some peace and clarity and some direct wholeness to it. It's a really neat thing. So I love that you guys make those connections, make that community, And honestly, I'm just really excited that we're connected to that community, because it makes little moments like tonight happen.
Just
It's
that.
just so fun.
Yep.
I really appreciate what you're saying. And what Emily had said too, I laughed, was like, when I said, that because everybody quits,
Yes.
Everybody's soft in that way. And then, going through the things, now I'm somewhere. Oh shit. No, I'm not. Now the way the business is, you're buffeted about a bit.
Yep.
You got to not quit there either. Right. And then you got to, I go, okay, so then how do I reconcile this?
Yeah.
These things that seem irreconcilable, of these highs and these lows, and that you got to take your mind off the results, Tait. It doesn't matter. Are you in it? And it seems to be working, and you're having fun, and you're able to put one foot, and you're able to grow. And it becomes like, am I here because I love doing the thing, or am I here because I want to be called the thing? When I was fighting, it was the same way. A lot of guys like to be under the lights, but do you like to be in the gym with broken toes? Do you like to work hard no matter what? Do you like to be and give it all with your brothers on the mats and see how you can make yourselves better and lift everybody up in that way? And those communities are vital. And there's those people that are striving for that. And they come up all around us on our paths. And just to be able to be, people are like, oh, how'd this happen in life? Man, because I've been blessed. I don't know. I tied up my shoes and I showed up. But other than that, I've been blessed by the people that walked into my life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some part of you knew that it needed to exist. You created it, and you got in there and built something because it needed to exist. And then that people gravitate to you because of that. You got Emily gravitating to you. I already like you. I met you in person.
It's situational for folks. Trust me.
Yeah. If I knew that if I was like Keanu Reeves or somebody like that, and I was like, okay, this guy's going to punch me in the face. All right. Might be a different story, but
I don't think so.
So by the way, that actually leads into this question here.
Okay, we're gonna do that one, and then I wanted to get to some.
We got a bunch in the
stuff.
comments too.
Yeah.
Okay, I've a lot of Breaking Bad and other fight type questions for you, Tait. So jumping in here, how'd you find yourself on Breaking Bad, and who are some of your favorite actors to fight?
Boy, oh boy.
The wheels are turning on that
one. Well, no, it wasn't my first. My scariest fight scene maybe was in a movie that could have been awesome that was horrible. It had all kinds of Emmy winners in it and everything, but it was Jonah Hex. And it had some bangers in that movie anyway. Like 5 Emmys, I think, or Oscars actually. But I had to power slam Megan Fox. She was coming up behind me with a hatchet. I had to turn and block her without hurting her arm.
Yeah.
And I had to grab under her chin, spin 180 degrees, and slam her onto the deck of a boat. And then they said, yeah. And and I go, cool. I knew her stunt girl. And I go, and she says, she wants to do it though. And I was like, this is my last job ever. I'm going to kill her. But then it's like, and you're the guy for the job, and this is why, and you got called, and it's what it is. And we must have done it 50 times, and it was perfect. And I was able to coach her through how to balance on my forearm without me really touching her, moving with momentum and landing her. And so that was a lot, and that was right out the gate. That was maybe a year into me working in that business, out of the fight business. My favorite fight scene ever was Denzel in The Equalizer.
Yes, we were just talking about that.
Yep.
What a privilege and honor! What a gentleman and icon! You learn from all the people. I've just been blessed by everybody along the line. How did I get into Breaking Bad? Because I was the last guy that was a local that they didn't call yet. Because
oh my,
they're calling straight away about me. Anyway, and it was like me. There's a couple of outlaw bikers. There were 2 electricians. One of the grips that I knew. They're just calling in everybody, right, to try out for this. And I got the role of Lester, and then got a SAG award in that role of Lester, which was a trip. And that's the thing too, is like that should be the thing, right? Boom, sets you off. This is like back to our previous conversation. It's just the next. It doesn't matter. I'm working on a show with Peter Berg right now, and he's like, it doesn't matter what I did last. It's done. It's next. It's what's next. It's what's next. Mm-hmm. And to be in that constant kind of creation gets you into momentum where that becomes your life. It becomes habitual, and it doesn't become necessarily hard. It's taxing, but it's already moving in a way. Mm-hmm. And that's a real benefit to keep it moving in that way. And so I just always hustled, and I always just tried to show up to my first job like it was my last job, like it was my first job type thing. And give my all there and be present, be helpful. What can you add? You know, I remember being on Avengers, you know, I got really super self-conscious about it. And I'm with a bunch of heroes of mine. You know, I mean, Favreau was directing that.
Yeah.
And I was like the little kid that was like, God, I wish I had the cool shoes and I could be with those kids over there that were talking in the circle. And I don't know. And that's like how I was having that kind of a moment as a grown ass man. Why don't you go and get people some water? Go be helpful. Where can you be useful? And it's like, that's always the answer in my life. My mom told me the first time I picked up a broom at the docks where I was working when I was 12 years old. And she says, find the next thing to do. How can you be useful? You become invaluable to these people. It's just, that's kind of what you do. It's never, you know, I was always looking for a retirement. Oh, if I did this right, then that'd be done. Then it's a wash. I'm good. No, man, find a life you can fall in love with because it goes. And if you don't take charge of it, you know, I've been on both sides of it. If I don't take charge of it like that, then I'm under the threshing wheel.
Yeah.
You know, it's this or that. It's going to go on.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to keep moving forward.
It just astounds me till I was looking, like I said, my patients and I were doing a lot of looking at things you've been in, and like they were freaking out when they saw your face. They're like, "Oh, that's Lester from Breaking Bad," and all that stuff. So lots of that, and then, but it astounds me. You've been trusted, like, you know, from a physicality standpoint, your physicality has been trusted by a lot of people, some of the biggest names in the business. These people are, you know, they want to do scenes with you because they know that you're not going to kill them or injure their shoulder or something. So
I'm going to stop or pause it here.
My goodness, we have 7 minutes left.
We have 7 minutes left in our Armor Forge that has been signed. And I know that Barry has not been able to join us, but Barry signed it. Tait has signed it. Emily has signed it. It's still going. It's open to what is called the popcorn bidding, meaning there's people going back and forth. And because of everybody's generosity and because of your help, we're currently at $365
right on
for the Lego set, which is just insane. It's just 7 minutes remaining. So just to let you know, if you want any last minute bids, that's just about ready to end there. And we just thank you for that. We'll see if we can get a final total there. But I wanted to jump in and look at some of the comments and everything. And you guys were both talking about being parts of the community and joining in. And I just want you to know, just looking at some of these, we have probably half a dozen of our honored families and either current fighters of cancer, survivors of cancer, or families of kids that have been lost to cancer. And so when you talk about this community, that's what it's about. We're here to support everybody. And I mean, whether you guys are in it for the long haul, I mean, that's the support you've given, and just so much showing of support from all of these different families. Everybody's excited. We do have, I got to see, one of the honored kiddos, foundlings, had I got to see there.
There's some good. Yeah, I saw some good stuff on the comments as they were rolling in here. So.
Yep. Somebody said, which I know you guys probably can't say, will Boba Fett make a return?
I want to see Boba Fett versus Paz Vizsla. That'd be that would be nice.
That would be just and
I don't want any of this.
Just and then oh yeah, just I mean, so many compliments. One of them wants to know, is it hot in the helmet for both of you guys?
Yeah.
Is it hot in that helmet?
It can get stuffy.
Can be, yeah.
Yep.
I really feel for Tait. I mean, people always ask me if the armor is heavy, and it's not really. It can get kind of hot, but it's pretty lightweight compared to what Heavy has to wear. Heavy's armor is heavy, especially with that jetpack.
Yeah, it's
whoa.
Yeah. It got me in incredible shape.
What's that?
It got me in incredible shape.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I mean, I literally, it's like because you're training for, like, and then you can't move very well. So I'm always pulling bands apart. I'm trying to keep my shoulders moving. It's like, it was a thing. It was such a cool experience, man.
Body by Paz. There's going to be a special workout video.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, Em.
So we have an honored kid though that wants to know, and this could go for both of you. Did you guys know about the Mandalorian before all of this? Before you guys got the role, did you guys, assuming you knew that you were trying out for a Star Wars role,
Maybe, or maybe you just
I
had
didn't know initially. I didn't know right away. I didn't know until weeks later, maybe weeks later, a week later at least. Legacy Effects that built Pause didn't know. I mean, nobody knew. They didn't know really what we were building. They didn't know what to call me. Like,
the show hadn't been announced yet.
Everything was so secretive.
They were auditioning it.
It was, it was crazy.
So was it like an untitled series?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember how it was, but then I remember seeing a paper that said Lucasfilms. I go, oh shit, am I in Star Wars right now?
Yeah.
We just had, sorry, they're still rolling in. We're sorry for being a little distracted. We're like, oh my goodness, there's another one.
No big deal. I'm here for it.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate your patience.
Yes, exactly right. Okay.
I appreciate your patience.
So I'm hanging out with Papa Tait. I'm good for the evening right now.
This one's for you, Emily, and I think more and more people are finding this out. But how does it feel? And can you tell us more about what it means to be the first official ambassador for Voices Against Cancer?
Oh man, well, I mean, I'm still understanding what it is. All I know is I got to be part of this incredible event last summer when you held the Voices Against Cancer initiative in Sioux Falls. And I was so moved by your community, really, by the stories, getting to know parents, getting to know kids, and seeing how much everyone supports each other, seeing how much support there is from parents who have already lost kids, to buoy parents who are still going through it, to buoy those kids. And there was just something that I loved being a part of that weekend, and that I could relate to in a way, because my father passed away from cancer. And so I, with my family, had gone through, years of wondering what treatments would be effective, watching him have to make those decisions, watching him suffer from the side effects of treatment, and trying to support him through that. And as I learned more about Voices Against Cancer, and that knowing that what you're trying to help is, cancer research in the simplest way, but also giving kids a better shot at not having long-lasting impact from the side effects of these medications, because they're, the cure. A lot of people who have experienced a loved one going through cancer know that the cure can often be as harsh or more harsh than the cancer itself. And it's a horrible thing to watch.
Preach, girl.
Yep.
And you are hoping that it's worth it.
Yeah.
And when I think about that with kids whose bodies are still developing, and wondering what that long-term impact could be, it just gives me so much hope. And I admire what you do so much, that you're trying to give them the best chance that they can have. And so I knew that was something that I wanted to continue with. I had a great time that weekend, but that just felt like, oh, okay, this is a drop in the bucket. And so Rob approached me and asked if I would like to be an ambassador. And I said, well, I don't know what that means, and he said, well, I'm not really sure what that means either.
Yeah,
we're still trying to figure it
We're
out.
going with it.
Yeah. And so we've sort of been putting that together, and I love it, because I love just getting to share this knowledge about this wonderful group of people. And one of the easy ways that I get to do that is at conventions, and on social media. I'm so ridiculously blessed to be part of this fandom that is so wide reaching. And so, for better or for worse, sometimes people look at things that I post. And so, if I can post something that actually has a positive impact, that's awesome. So as an ambassador, I've been trying to, increase awareness about the organization. And one very fun and simple thing that I do is I auction off an autographed Funko Pop at every convention.
I love it.
Or not auction, I raffle it off.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is so much fun. And that also becomes a community building event, because most of the time, like, the volunteers at the convention find out about this and they want to rally up support. And so they're walking around, trying to sell raffle tickets. And it's amazing because people are so willing to, of course they want to throw in money to support a good cause. And it's so much easier for me to ask for money for that than to ask people to, like, buy an autograph or something.
Yeah.
And something that actually I will take the opportunity to say now, because for the first time at the convention that I'm doing this coming weekend at MegaCon, I'm going to be raffling off a hammer autographed, built by a gentleman named Jack Lowe, who made me a hammer that I travel with.
That's the one you travel with. Okay.
Yeah, it's very lightweight.
Yes.
You probably wouldn't do much damage with it, which is good.
Well,
but he made me this beautiful hammer that I could travel with. Would you say, Tait?
You have a problem with TSA, or what's happening? The armor gets a pass.
Yeah.
I put it in my suitcase, dude. That's why it needs to be lightweight, so it won't weigh down as much.
Yeah, I feel
I've
like
never
Tait
tried to
could
get
probably do some
through
damage with it.
TSA with it. That might be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm going to start, and I'm going to start bringing those to conventions and raffling them off. So
this MegaCon is where?
Orlando.
Okay. So if you live in the Orlando area and you happen to be watching right now, or if you're headed to Orlando, now's your chance. You can finally have one of these cool hammers.
Signed by the armor herself.
You're not going to get another one of those. They
No.
don't. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, that's really cool.
That's awesome.
What else? Should we jump? Or did the bidding end?
It says 1 minute left.
1 minute left. We're in the final
moment.
I got to do one more Instagram post here.
Sniping on eBay. This is your chance to snipe this. You could get this thing.
Right.
Jumping in at the last moment here, folks.
So while we're waiting with this, it's almost poetic, that as we start and continue to develop our ambassadorship, we're
to define it,
and everything else. I mean, to be willing to take more in and everything else. But just like the armor herself, who leads her group and her clan, it's just like the same thing as an ambassador for Voices.
Yep.
The one that's starting it out and going to be leading. So
you will be the keeper of the children of the watch.
Yes.
And trust me, we will take every minute of it. These kids, okay, so I am about to throw Emily Swallow under the bus a little bit, because she has done some really cool things for my patients. And I just want to say thank you on air about that, because you have been available. You made yourself available. Oh my goodness, that was a big snipe. Did you just see that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. The auction. I'm sorry. I'm going to jump back to my story here. The auction just got totally sniped here.
It did another. It's called popcorn bidding. So it lets it go up and up as long as.
Oh my goodness.
We're at 450 right now.
Folks. Yeah. And they've got popcorn bid back up for 9 more minutes.
So it's another 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness. That's going to get crazy. This is a great, honestly, like, this is one of the things that I think has been the most amazing thing about Voices. And I've had multiple patients going through really hard things, and you have made yourself available for these moments where you could remind them how strong they are, and they're stronger than they think they are. You could remind them of their immense value just by jumping on and reminding and letting them know that somebody knows what's going on with them. So those moments where you jumped into their world and you bore a little bit of that burden, it's an amazing thing to watch. I've watched it happen on the other side of a video call or a video message or whatever. And those moments where they're stuck in a hospital room, they've seen the same 4 walls forever, and then all of a sudden an actor on their favorite show jumps in. You can't even imagine the joy. Like, there's a lot of crying that you're not seeing up in front of that Facebook thing or the FaceTime thing. There's parents in the room. There's relatives that are watching, because I usually tell people about this is about to happen. Is this cool? So it's all, there's all permissions and all that stuff is taken care of. But by the time this is done, I've had one parent that dad was wiping tears out of his eyes, and he was like, PT Dan, how did she know? And I said, I don't know, man. God's good. And he's like, how did she know that this last month has been the hardest month? And I can't believe that, like, this just means everything to me. And I just got to say, you have a community around you. And that's what this is. So it's a moment for me to be a part of this.
It's because I have love and community around me, and God is good, and we have to share that.
Yeah, have to.
And that's what I mean. Everything happens for a reason. And I sit here and I think, I mean, what better, however you want to put it, however you want to take it, what better way to kick off our series, our broadcast, our program, our season than to talk about it with people that are family, that are community, that's what the focus of the series is right now, is commitment and dedication and devotion to, and then that's the children, and like what you had said, Tait, being that lighthouse, and that's what we want. There's so much negativity, there's so much coldness, there's so much darkness, not only in the world today, but then it's magnified with a child that's going through cancer, and it's magnified for not only the child, but then the family, the parents, the siblings, all of this stuff. These are all things that we want to talk about. We want to bring to light. Emily, you were talking about, the research part of it, and it's, people don't understand that concept of the research, and that's the part that we need, but it's not the fluff stuff, but we still need it. But we still want to show that support, to be able to let that family know that, hey, we're here. And whatever it is, if you're currently fighting, if you're a survivor, or if your child's passed, it doesn't matter. We're all together as a group. We're here, and we just want to make that as bright of a light as we can.
Yeah. I think years from now, a lot of the punches we may have thrown, or the lines we may have delivered, or whatever else we've done may just disappear. But these moments where we could prove to kids that are fighting hard battles that we were listening, I think that's the stuff that I hope that we're all remembered for. And so thank you for doing that. Thank you for being a part of it.
It's great. It keeps reminding me of this thing that somebody told me a long time ago, and I like to remind people that there's people that are on your side that you've never met.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people pulling for you that you've never met and that you'll meet down the road, and that are all around you. And a lot of times it can feel alone, but that's usually not true.
Yeah.
And
do you hear that, foundling?
That you're not alone,
That's right. That's right.
It keeps getting bit up, ladies and gentlemen. So we are kind of in this point where people, it's going to like it just keeps getting popcorn bitted up. So we're doing great, and even if the show ends and we're still being popcorn bitted up, that's fine. I can do that all night.
We want to keep going with that.
Oh, nice. Keep it going.
We're going to bring the show eventually to a close here, but I wanted to, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about what's going to happen this summer. We are going to have, Voices Against Cancer is going to have their 605 Pop Culture Con in Sioux Falls, South Dakota this summer at the convention center. And it's going to be attended, I think, I'm hoping by at least one of you.
I'm planning to be there.
And now I heard a rumor, and you tell me if this is true, but
I don't know these things.
I think
we got to get Tait there too, guys.
I think so. Yeah. I just want to stand next to the guy. I really just want to get a couple of pictures standing next to him. Be like, look, this guy could have killed me with one punch. Look at
he's literally right here next to me for supper, and sitting down, we're like, okay, cool, and all this stuff, and then we get ready to stand up to go, and I'm just like, oh, hi.
I sit down next to people, and I'm like, wow, you got like a short torso. I guess.
I just think it'd be fun. I would feel like I did whenever I was sitting next to my big brother when I was little, and be like, nobody's gonna mess with me while I'm right next to you. I think so, and so we'll be there. Emily, I heard a rumor though. Is it true that you possibly might be actually shaving heads with St. Baldrick's this summer? And would you want to?
I guess it depends on what kind of acting work I'm doing at that moment.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, you're gonna.
I gotta ask my agent about
You're gonna
that.
be the barber.
Yeah.
There you go. Because we do have another one of your guys' co-stars coming and attending the event, Katie Sackhoff.
Keith is gonna let Emily shave his head.
Ooh.
Can you imagine?
That's huge. You heard it here first, guys.
This is the way, you know. I
This
mean,
is
and
the way
that's
we gotta
that.
do it. Yeah. Well, heck, you know, my rule of thumb is my patients get to shave my head, but if the armorer took a swipe, I would not look down at that. That would be amazing, actually.
I'm not getting another haircut until July, so mine's going to be
Yours is gonna
super
grow?
super moppy. I don't know.
Nice.
You know,
I want to update on the book, Rob.
what's that?
The book.
Oh, so yeah. So Tait and I talked a lot, and our buddy Chuck, and I actually talked to Chuck not too long ago, and we're tying all of that in. And actually, Dan and I have talked about that as well. You know, to bring all of this to light and include, you know, some books and more along like a children's series that explores.
I'll remind you, 2 books. You got a children's series about traveling the road of it, and you've got a how to cope for parents.
Yep.
I love it.
They're both books that you've got a gang of experience in.
Yeah.
That people need.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
And
sounds
again,
like you got a forward that might be written by Papa Tait.
I was just gonna say, I think we got a forward there, and that's, I mean, it goes back to what you were saying too, Tait. I mean, it's just you find that, and life's too short. I mean, you got to go for it. So
I love it.
I'll keep punching forward.
I'm going to keep asking about it.
Yes,
that's good. That's good. So I think we're going to bring our show to a close, but I want to, are there any more comments here that we need to ask questions or anything?
Just a ton of excitement and so excited. A lot of, you know, repeats with some of those. So
I do want to relay a message. I got a text from Barry, and he apologized. He had a family emergency come up, so that's why he wasn't able to make it. But he really wanted to be here.
Oh, man. Well,
so you have to get him another time.
Yes, and that's just fine. And you know, these things happen. We are a live show. That's just the way it is, right?
Yep.
But you know, I think, thank you guys for everything you've contributed. We've had such a great discussion here, and it really is. It's a blessing to just have these moments where we can have some real discussions and some important talk. To everybody who's watching, I know a lot of you, I've seen a lot of familiar names on the comments, and to those of you that are watching that caught this broadcast, if you or someone in your family is facing or has fought childhood cancer, we are here to remind you that there's a whole community that's running towards you and reaching out to uphold you.
And know that whether you're a child, family member, you're not going to walk this path alone. We are here to help and to bring that light.
Yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Well, thank you guys for being with us tonight, and we'll go ahead and let you go for now. But this was so much fun, and I really, honestly, it'd be so much fun to have any of you on here. We could use some more Papa Tait wisdom, and you cannot contain Emily Swallow. She's just wonderful. So, thank you guys, and
thank you. Thank the two of you so much for everything that you have done for this show and everything that the mountains of devotion that you've poured into the work you do for Voices.
It's, you know, that's a labor of love, and we're just so thankful to share those moments with somebody like you. Grief seems to be carving out a bit of a deep spot in your heart, ma'am. And so I'm sorry that you lost somebody, but my, oh my, like the way your capacity for empathy for these kids just blesses me. So thank you for what you're doing. And Papa Tait, I could see you wiping some tears away as we're talking, and I could tell you just must be the nicest guy.
All day, you guys. It's just been a lot, you know.
Yeah, you are such a blessing. Thank you so much for being here. You guys blessed us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Here's our outro, so we'll just say a quick goodbye.
And don't forget tomorrow night, right? New episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, in what? 3
hours.
Oh no, I'm on the East Coast now.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah,
yes, it drops at midnight probably.
So just in a few hours.
Yeah, well, we could hang out until it drops, but I think we're probably going to let you all go.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much filming that goes on. You're walking around different, like when somebody had asked about Emily about, you know, who all is in that armor or whatever.
Yeah.
There is such a huge volume of work. I didn't really understand until the last season because I was on for snippets before.
Yeah. Mm.
There's such a huge volume of work. Mando needs all those guys.
Yeah.
Zero chance that happens any other way. To have the people that are taking care of that, and wow, and you see that firsthand. You're just like, there's literally scenes that my character's filming that I don't know about.
Oh yeah,
they're filming right now because I'm filming this.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Thank you to you, both of you, because of your guys' help with this, your autographs along with Barry's.
Oh,
we were able to raise $500.
All right.
Tonight with that Lego set.
$500. It ended with 500.
So I think that's a pretty darn good.
I love it. That's a kickoff right there.
Yep. That is one heck of an inaugural premiere show. So thank you both.
We hope to see you all again soon. And for all of you watching, July 15th, Voices Against Cancer.
605 Pop Culture Con, Sioux Falls Convention Center, voicesagainstcancer.org has all the information, and follow us on all the social medias and YouTubes and help us spread that word.
And go follow Papa Tait and Emily Swallow. You got to get Tait Fletcher. Go find him on social media and give this guy some likes and some love, man. I'm just so thankful for both of you. You guys have a great night.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having us. Emily, as always, a pleasure to see you. Love you so much.
Love you, Tait. I miss you, buddy.
You too. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, you guys.
All right. Bye.
All right. Well, I guess we're about done, buddy.
We're done.
I think we will see you all later. And we're just so thankful for anybody that watched this long. You guys are wonderful. And we will see you in the future.
Take